My name is Eva. I am 27 years old. I always believed in love. And I trusted my sister more than anyone. Her name is Mia. She is 1 year older than me. People always said we looked alike, but we were very different inside. Mia was louder, more confident, and more beautiful. At least that's what everyone always said. But I never felt jealous. She was my sister. I loved her. I believed she loved me too. Until the day she took Liam. Liam and I met at a friend's birthday party. He was sweet, funny, and calm. He didn't try too hard to impress anyone. He just talked to me like I mattered. That night we laughed, shared stories, and walked home together. At the end he asked for my number. He messaged me the next morning. And the morning after that. Soon we were texting every day. 2 weeks later he asked me out. Liam was gentle. He opened doors, remembered small things I said, and brought me flowers just because. When I got sick he came over with soup. He held my hand while I watched TV under a blanket. I felt safe with him. Thought he was different. After 4 months I introduced him to my family. My parents liked him. But Mia, she smiled too much. She laughed a little too loud at his jokes. She called him cute to his face. At first I didn't think much about it. That was just Mia. She was always playful and bold. But over time I saw something in her eyes. And something in his too. Liam started changing. He didn't text me good morning like before. He canceled plans. He stopped calling me beautiful. I asked if he was okay. He said he was just busy. I wanted to believe him. But my heart started to worry. One evening I came home early from work. The house was quiet. Mia was in the kitchen making tea. She looked surprised to see me. "Is Liam here?" I asked. She froze for a second. "No, he just left." I looked at the kitchen table. 2 mugs. One of them had his favorite tea in it, lemon and honey. I had bought that flavor for him. My stomach dropped. My voice shook. "Was he really here, Mia?" She didn't answer. That silence told me everything. I walked to my room and closed the door. I didn't want to cry in front of her. I felt like my chest was going to explode. The man I loved, and the sister I trusted, together? The next day I didn't speak to either of them. I stayed in my room. I stared at the wall for hours. My phone stayed quiet. No text from Liam. 2 days later he called. "Can we talk?" he said. My heart raced. I wanted to yell at him. I wanted to beg him to tell me it wasn't true. But all I said was, "Come over." When he arrived I stood at the door. He looked tired. Nervous. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. "I didn't plan this." I stared at him. "You didn't plan to fall in love with my sister?" He looked down. "It just happened." Those words cut deep. "How does love just happen with your girlfriend's sister?" I asked. "Since when?" He didn't answer at first. Then he said, "A few weeks." I stepped back. I felt like I couldn't breathe. "Did you ever love me?" I whispered. "I did," he said. "But things changed. You and I felt distant." I laughed a little, but there was no joy in it. "We felt distant because you were spending time with her." He looked ashamed. "I'm sorry, Eva. I really am." I closed the door. I didn't want to hear more. Later that night Mia knocked on my door. She didn't wait for me to answer. She came in and sat down. "I didn't mean to hurt you," she said. I looked at her. Her eyes were red. Maybe she had cried. Maybe not. You could have stayed away, I said. You knew how I felt about him. She looked down. I tried. But we connected. I felt a sharp pain in my chest. You're my sister, Mia. I know, she said. That's why I feel terrible. But not terrible enough to stop. She didn't reply. I turned away. I didn't want to see her face anymore. That night I cried harder than ever before. Not just because of Liam, but because of Mia. Losing a boyfriend is hard. But losing your sister, that breaks something deeper. The morning after everything happened, I couldn't get out of bed. My body felt heavy. My eyes burned from crying. I didn't want to move. I didn't want to speak. Mia had already left the house. She didn't leave a note or send a message. I didn't want her to. I didn't know what I would say if I saw her again. I just lay there staring at the ceiling. Thought about Liam. Thought about Mia. And I thought about how quickly everything fell apart. After some time I reached for my phone. I didn't want to look, but I did. That's when I saw it. Mia had posted a picture. It was her and Liam. They were standing close together, smiling. His arm was around her shoulders. She looked happy. He looked the same as before. I stared at the screen in shock. How could she post that? So soon? So public? Did she forget I still followed her? Or did she just not care? I dropped the phone on the bed. My hands were shaking. My chest hurt. I covered my face with the blanket and cried all over again. That photo was more than a picture. It was a message. They were together now. And they didn't care if I saw. I turned off my phone and stayed in bed all day. I didn't eat. I didn't speak. I just lay there in silence, feeling empty. By evening I couldn't take it anymore. I needed to get out. I needed to breathe. I packed a small bag and called my best friend Lila. He picked up right away. As soon as she heard my voice, she said, "Come over. Right now." When I got to her apartment, I didn't even have to knock. She opened the door and hugged me tightly. I cried the moment I saw her. We sat on her couch and I told her everything. From the moment I met Liam to the tea mugs, to the photo Mia posted. Lila didn't interrupt. He just listened. That meant more to me than anything. I didn't need advice. I just needed someone to care. "Stay as long as you need," she said softly. "This is your home too." I stayed with her for the next few days. She made me tea in the morning and gave me a warm blanket at night. We watched movies and talked about everything, except Liam and Mia. One morning Lila found me sitting by the window. "Do you want to talk to your sister?" she asked gently. "No," I said quickly. She made her choice. She knew what she was doing. Lila nodded. "You don't have to talk to her until you're ready. Or ever if that's what you decide." I looked at her and felt thankful. She didn't push me. She let me feel everything. Later that day I went out for a walk. It was cold, but the air felt fresh. I passed a little flower shop on the corner. I used to come here with Liam. He always picked red roses. I stopped and looked inside the window. For a moment I saw us there, laughing, holding hands, being happy. But that was in the past. I took a deep breath and kept walking. When I returned to Lila's, I found a message from Mia. She said, "Can we please talk?" That was it. No sorry. No reason. Just that. I read the message 3 times. My hands shook, but I didn't reply. I wasn't ready. That night I cried again. But the pain felt different. Not sharp. Not new. Just quiet. Mia didn't message again for 2 more days. When she finally did, it was longer. I miss you, she wrote. I know you hate me. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness. But I love you. I miss my sister. I didn't know what to feel. Was she really sorry? Or did she just feel guilty? Did she miss me? Or did she miss not feeling bad? Lila found me staring at my phone and said, "You don't have to answer right now." So I didn't. I put the phone down and walked to the kitchen. I poured myself a glass of water. I stood there thinking. Mia and I used to laugh in the kitchen late at night. We used to steal each other's food and blame it on Mom. We were close. So close. But now it felt like that version of us was gone. The next day I went back home to grab some clothes. I didn't expect to see Mia, but she was there. She stood in the kitchen looking surprised when I walked in. Her face looked pale. Her eyes were tired. "Eva," she said softly. "I didn't know you were coming." "I just came to get some things," I replied. My voice was calm but my heart was racing. She walked closer but stopped. "I'm sorry," she said. "I know that's not enough, but I mean it." I didn't speak. He kept going. "I didn't plan for this to happen. I didn't think I'd fall for him. I didn't want to hurt you. But you did," I finally said. "You hurt me more than anyone ever has." Tears filled her eyes. "I know. I hate myself for it." I stood there looking at her. The sister I grew up with. The one I trusted most. I didn't know if I could ever look at her the same way again. "I'm not ready to forgive you," I said. "Maybe one day. But not today." She nodded slowly. "I understand." I picked up my bag and turned to leave. As I walked out, she whispered, "I still love you." I didn't turn back. I walked back to Lila's place holding my bag close to my chest. My heart was quiet not because it had healed but because it was tired. I didn't cry. I just felt numb. Lila opened the door and gave me a long hug. She didn't ask any questions. She didn't need to. She could see everything on my face. "I saw Mia," I said softly. She apologized. Lila led me to the couch. She handed me a warm blanket and a cup of tea. We sat in silence for a while. The silence didn't feel empty. It felt safe. "She says she loves me," I whispered. "Do you believe her?" Lila asked. I thought for a moment. I think part of her does. But I also think part of her only feels guilty. Lila nodded. "It's okay to not know yet. You don't have to decide anything today." That night I couldn't sleep. I lay in bed thinking about the old days, when Mia and I were just girls. We used to make up songs, pretend to be on stage, and laugh so hard we cried. Now all I felt was distance. In the morning I made a choice. I had to stop waiting. Waiting for answers. Waiting for apologies. Waiting for time to fix me. I had to help myself. After breakfast I searched for something new. A small step. Something that had nothing to do with Liam or Mia. I found a weekend painting class. It was just a short walk from Lila's place. I signed up without thinking too much. I used to love painting but I had stopped long ago. Saturday came. I put on my softest sweater and walked into the little art studio. The room was full of light and soft music. The smell of paint reminded me of high school. A woman with kind eyes greeted me. "Welcome," she said. "Pick any seat." I sat near the window. A young woman sat beside me. She looked over and smiled. "Hi, I'm Clara." "Eva," I said. "Nice to meet you." We started with simple exercises. Mixing colors. Light brush strokes. My hand shook at first, but after a while I felt calm. The brush moved like it remembered something my heart had forgotten. I painted a small hill under a bright sky. It wasn't perfect, but I liked it. It made me feel proud. Claire looked at my painting. "That's really pretty," she said. "Thanks," I replied, a little shy. After class, she asked if I wanted to grab coffee. I hesitated, then said yes. We walked to a quiet cafe. It had small wooden tables and soft music. We sat in the corner and talked about simple things: books, food, hobbies. I didn't talk about my past. I didn't need to. That day felt different. I laughed. Not a fake laugh to hide pain. A real one. I didn't expect that. Over the next few weeks, I went to class every Saturday. I painted more: flowers, oceans, the night sky. My paintings got better. And so did I. Claire became a friend. A new friend. The kind that doesn't ask for more than you can give. One day she looked at me during class and said, "You seem lighter." Lighter. She smiled. "Like you're starting to let go." I smiled too. Maybe she was right. That weekend, I visited the flower shop near the studio. It was the same kind of shop Liam and I used to visit. But this time I walked in alone. I bought a small yellow plant for Lila. He loved sunflowers. I gave it to her that evening and her face lit up. "You're healing," she said, hugging me. "Maybe," I replied. "A little each day." One evening I checked my phone. I hadn't looked at Mia's messages in a while. There were 2 unread texts. "I hope you're okay," she wrote. "I think about you every day." The second one said, "I miss having you in my life." I didn't know how to answer. So I didn't reply yet. But this time I didn't feel angry. I just felt quiet. Later that night, I took out my sketch pad and painted 2 girls standing under a tree. They looked like sisters. I looked at the painting for a long time. I wasn't ready to forgive Mia. But I also wasn't holding hate anymore. That was something. I put the sketch pad away and made myself a cup of tea. For the first time in a long time, I felt a little peace. I wasn't healed. Not completely. But I was healing. And that was enough for now. 3 months passed. Slowly, quietly. The days grew warmer. Flowers started blooming. Life outside my window began to change. And so did I. The pain didn't vanish, but it softened. I still thought about Liam and Mia, but not all the time. Some days passed without a single tear. That was new. I spent my weekends painting and walking through the park. I started reading again. I even joined a book club. Claire went with me. She became one of the few people I truly trusted. One Sunday morning, I opened my phone and saw a message. It was from Mia. "Hi. I know it's been a while. Would you be willing to meet? Just once." I read it twice. My heart felt strange. I didn't know what to say at first. But deep down I was ready. "Okay," I wrote. "Tomorrow. At the lake bench." The next day I wore a soft blue blouse and pulled my hair back. I didn't wear makeup. I just wanted to feel like myself. I arrived early. The bench near the lake was quiet. The trees above me moved gently with the wind. I took a deep breath and waited. When Mia arrived, I stood still. She looked thinner. Her face was pale. She walked slowly, almost like she wasn't sure I'd still be there. "Hi," she said softly. "Hi." We sat down. The space between us felt big even though we were side by side. "Thank you for coming," she said. I nodded. I wasn't sure I would. "I understand," she whispered. "I really do." We sat in silence. The lake water moved calmly. A few birds flew past. I stared straight ahead. "I started therapy," she said after a while. "I needed it. For a long time. Not just because of what happened." I listened quietly. "I've thought about what I did every single day," she continued. "And I still don't have a good reason. All I know is, I broke your heart. And I broke our bond." I looked at her. Her eyes were red. "I loved you, Mia," I said. "I trusted you more than anyone. You were my sister. My best friend." "I know," she said. "And I threw that away." "Why?" I asked. "Why him?" "I felt something," she said. "And I didn't fight it. I should have. But I didn't. I thought it was love, but now I'm not even sure." I looked down. "Are you still together?" She hesitated. "No. We broke up." I didn't feel relief. Just emptiness. "That didn't fix anything." "I didn't come here to tell you that," she said. "I didn't come to clean my name. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. Truly. I wish I could take it back." The tears were there again, but I blinked them away. "You hurt me more than anyone ever has," I said. "But I don't hate you." She turned to me surprised. "I don't trust you," I added. "And I don't know if I ever will. But I don't hate you." She nodded slowly. "That's fair." "I'm healing," I said. "Not because of you. But in spite of you." She looked at me with sad eyes. "You've grown. You seem stronger." "I am." We sat in silence again. This time it felt lighter. "I miss you," she said. "Even if we can't be close again. I miss knowing you're okay." "I'm getting there," I said. "It's a slow road, but I'm walking it." She smiled. A small, tired smile. "Can we maybe talk sometimes?" she asked. "Just little things?" "Maybe," I said. "But only if it's honest." She nodded. After a while we stood up. We didn't hug. We didn't promise anything. But we looked at each other and it felt like a small beginning. That evening I walked home alone. The sun was setting. The light was gold and soft. I thought about everything. I thought about the betrayal, the anger, the sadness. And then I thought about how far I'd come. Back at home I made a cup of tea. I sat by the window with my sketchbook. I drew two girls sitting on a bench by the lake. And this time I didn't cry.